What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl here, Chanel. We are chatting today about creating freedom and flexibility in your business. And I'm joined today with the Lazy Millennial. Yes, we're going to talk about what that name is and how she came across that. But the Lazy Millennial, Adriana, is here. We're going to chat about creating freedom in your business with systems and with processes. Adriana is one of my guest speakers at my upcoming Freedom is the New Flex virtual summit. If you have your business and you are like, you know what, summer's coming and I need some tweaks, I need some strategy, I need some ways to be able to free my hands from the computer so I can hire out and be able to turn over like a well documented process, the Lazy Millennial Adriana is your girl. So Adriana, introduce yourself.
All right. So, like Chanel said, I'm Adriana. I go by, well, my company name is the Lazy Millennial. And with that, I help business owners I help business owners work on the foundational piece of their company so that way they can live lazily down the line. And all that is making sure business owners have strong systems in place and those systems are documented because that is key when it comes to really scaling, selling, whatever you want to do with your business.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here's one of the things that I want to chat with you about because sometimes, when we think about systems, when we think about documented processes, it can be a little overwhelming, right? It can be a little
Yeah.
bit daunting and it might not even be it's not like a super like fun, sexy topic. So how do you bring the fun into it? How do you get your clients and get them that momentum to be able to build in structure in their business so that they can have freedom?
Okay, so this is the fun part. So one thing about like lazy, I brought lazy in because a lot of people always say, I don't feel like working, I don't feel like doing this, that, and the third, but like they're afraid to let go because of whatever reason they may have. So
Mhm.
I use laziness as a way to kind of draw people in. It's like when you see lazy in business, like why? Like, what is this? Like, how are you tying this together? So for me, I make it in a way where they kind of the way I do things, I make it in a way where people are mindlessly doing it. So like you're already doing this stuff. A lot of times we're already doing this stuff. It's just a matter
Mhm.
of being mindful of how we're keeping it and where we're keeping things at. So like I just build it into like their day-to-day life. So like something simple as making a checklist of things and then like writing out like what exactly are you trying to do with this checklist? Like boom, I let them know like you just did your first documentation. Now add into like a folder or something like that. So like if someone were to come in, people can pull that information and go off of that. So I just make it fun, but like I make it where it doesn't seem like it's more added work because it's stuff that we're doing.
Right, right, absolutely. And this is the thing. What I learned is it's very difficult to, a lot of times we are bottlenecked in our business. We're bottlenecked in
Mhm.
our business. We want to be able to bring on team members. We want to be able to bring on help. But if you don't have the processes in place, if you don't even have it documented, it makes it that much harder. So, how does being able to, have some systems in your business, but documented systems, help translate into freedom so that you can hire people and that can help you?
Yeah. So, I just want to clarify too, because sometimes people get confused when they see processes and systems. So I'm gonna clarify that real quick. Then I'm gonna dive into how this equals freedom. So processes, just in case anyone doesn't know what processes are, is the step-by-step actions you take to achieve a set goal. So it can just be one thing, like we're talking now, like what was the process to hand this
Mhm.
out? So you send an email, you send a message, this, that, and the third. That's the process. Now the system is just simply a group of all the processes, the software, and all that good stuff. So like whenever you hear systems, it's just going to be a bunch of processes for that said thing. So like there's usually a system for social media, there's a system for onboarding, like there's multiple systems within your business, but all it is multiple processes and how you're doing that. So, with that being said, how does that equal freedom? When it comes to hiring and just pretty much anything you want to do, just to go backwards, just even for myself, like documenting these processes help me out because one, I can mentally prepare what I want to do, or I can go out and look for like certain things I need inside my business because there's a lot of noise on social media,
Right.
people telling you to go ahead and do this thing, you need to do this and have this in your company. When you actually take the time out to write out your processes, not only are you more laser focused, you know what you need inside your business. So you're not listening to Bob, Sally, whoever telling you to do this stuff when you only when you only need that particular thing. Like you maybe need like one thing to help, like a schedule. This is the first thing. I'm just talking off the top of my head. You may just need like a scheduler in your own business and kind of like help
Mm-hmm.
things flow. But like you don't know until you actually document the process. Now, if you're just going out buying stuff or getting software just because other people told you to get it or it looks cool,
Right.
then it's gonna be a hassle. But anyway, go to the freedom part. When you document that stuff, it gives you clarity. And not only that, when you hire somebody, they're going to need this information. So, like, the first thing I'm going to ask you, what is your goals for this? What are you trying to do? You got your process. It's like, this is what I had in mind. I'm going to hand it off to the specialist I just hired, and they can work together off of that. And things flow a whole lot better, excuse me, when you actually have things documented and you know what kind of path you want to go to. So like that's where the freedom part comes in, because you have the clarity yourself first and then you hand it off to somebody else so they can enhance that vision you have. It
Mm-hmm.
just makes things, yeah, everything just starts to flow, and that's where the freedom comes in. It's not immediate, but like boy, when you when the time comes and you need it,
Mm-hmm.
you got it, and the freedom just flows in.
I love that you specified that one, it takes time up front to do it. It's two, there's things that we're already doing. We're just being able to document it. But then three, you said that it gives us so much more clarity, because I think that a lot of times what people do is they pick up all of this information and it's not necessarily one size fits all. Like this documentation has to be customized for your business, for your industry, for what you do in your business. And that's the way that you can be able to bring on a team, bring on people to be able to outsource certain tasks. But if you haven't taken the time to customize it based on your business, based on what you're doing, it makes it that much more difficult.
Exactly, exactly. So, what was I about to say next? So, when it comes to document, I just want to give a tip because I know I said freedom and stuff, and we said documentation. So, like the first
Mhm.
thing I tell people if they want to get started or they're kind of overwhelmed with what they want to do, say this every time I do a live, any type of video. If you want to get started for the freedom piece of documenting your business, start by writing down what you're trying to do this month. Like, I know we're constantly like pushing things out or wanting to push things out
Mhm.
into the world. Taking the time out to actually physically write them out or type them out. Some people are digital. I personally use pen and paper. I can't do
Right.
digital, but whatever is easiest for you, like physically write that out, type it out, whatever you need to, and figure out the process for that. Like write the step by step. Like I want to something as simple as like I want to post more reels on social media because you're a social media
Mhm.
expert. Like, what kind of reels do you want to do? Like, what are you trying to promote this month? Like
Right.
things like that. Like all that stuff goes to towards documentation, and you can kind of like clean it up later. But like the main thing I always push is just to get started, because like as you get started, then you can kind of grow and figure out, oh, you know what, actually I don't need this. Like let me go move this here, or you know what, maybe I need to record this. Like it becomes a lot easier. But the point is just get started with that.
Yep, just get started. So I'm chatting today with Adriana. She is the Lazy Millennial, and she teaches us how to be lazy in our business with documentation, with systems, but more importantly, having clarity over your process in your business so that it turns into freedom and flexibility. So that, the way you're talking about, like summer's coming up. Summer's coming up. You probably want to be able to hang out at the pool during the week, bouncing around with your kids or travel and go see Usher in Vegas, but knowing that your stuff is handled in the back end. So Adriana is going to be one of the speakers at my Freedom is the New Flex virtual summit. The virtual summit kicks off on June 15th, and she's going to be there as well as another all-star panel of speakers and powerhouses. Super excited. So one of the comments, Arjana, is that the documentation is where you get some one of our listeners has gotten tripped up in the past. And one of the things you said is to start small. So give us like maybe just three quick tips on like how to start small so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming with documenting the process in our business.
Okay, so just starting small. Um, Three tips I can give for that is simply one, start off with things you want to do for the, I'll say the week. So like little things you want to do for the week. Like you have your big goal. You know, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. So figure out what you want to do for the month. Figure out like what that big thing is this
Mm-hmm.
month. Like if you want to hit a monetary goal, if you want to hit whatever, you figure out what that big goal is, and then start by week by week, figuring out little things you can do to get to that big goal. So, like, what kind of processes do you need to do? Like, what kind of steps do you need to take? So, like, that's one. You write the big goal, get a little document, get a notebook, whatever it is, circle. I'm gonna say 10K because that is like the most worn down thing people have been saying
Right.
online. So we're just gonna go with that. You want to make 10K this month. You're gonna write out one thing you can do this week to get to the 10K mark. So, like, if it's pushing a service, you got your service. So this week you're going to focus on promoting this service. Figure out the process for that. Like, what kind of things you're going to do. So, like, starting off with the main goal, that's the first thing, and figure out the process for that. For like the more long-term things, or like if you need a new software, like people, you need to automate something in business. This is something that trips a lot of people up. So, like, you are spending too much time on something. So the next thing
Mm-hmm.
you do, figure out the things you're spending a lot of time on. Like, it's taking a huge chunk of your time and you are not able to focus on much else because you feel like you're doing that. Figure out like what exactly you're doing, write out the steps that you're doing that's taking a lot of time, and
Mm-hmm.
figure out from there what you need to actually like automate, or if you are automating, see how you can automate things better. By you doing that and write out the process that you're taking now, you're documenting, and you're documenting a certain thing of the business that you're doing. So that's two. One, start with the goal for the month to figure out the
Mm-hmm.
processes. Two, figuring out what is causing you to use a lot of time inside your company. And the third thing, let's see what else that would tell you guys. Normally goal. Hmm.
Well, let's just talk about this. One
Okay,
of the
yeah.
things that you said is being able to just document. And so one of the things that's been like true, completely eye opening for me is, I had gotten to the point where I was bottlenecked in my business, and my coach challenged me to take a look at these packages that you're selling and what are you doing in all of this, and then what are you great at, what are you doing, what should you be doing, and then what can be turned over to someone else. And so many of us, as small business owners, as business coaches, consultants, we get to the point when we know that we need to increase our team. We may have one or two people on our team, but we get to the point, even when we have team members, we get bottlenecked. And so then it's time to reevaluate, what your systems are. Reevaluate, okay, I have this VA on this side, she's doing this, but could she be doing more? I have this person on this side, doing this. Could they be doing more? So just really being strategic about not just what we're doing in our business in terms of ourselves, but also what do we have, what have we assigned our team members to do as well.
That's exactly it. I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing too, because some people already have team members. And one thing I always tell people is that we don't necessarily need to hire right out the gate. Well,
Mm-hmm.
like ongoing support. Like if it's a specialist helping you set up something, that's different. But like when it comes to like virtual assistants, because I feel like it's really pushed to have one, and a lot of times businesses aren't really ready to actually have that. So like another thing too, I guess that could be the third thing if you want to document. If you feel like you're in the position because you're so busy, you don't have time, evaluate like what exactly you need done, and can you realistically keep this person on? Because if it's just like one thing, you can hire someone for like a quick project, get it done. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times people are trying to get month to month stuff when they just need like a quick project to get something set up and be out.
Right.
But it's just figuring that out. That'd be like the third thing I would say, like recommend, because hiring is done so quickly, especially in the online space. I feel like we hire a little too quickly,
Mm-hmm.
myself included. But like that would be the third thing. So just
Yeah, and like
evaluating
you
like what
said, just being
exactly
very
you're doing.
clear on what it is you're
Yeah.
hiring for, and you won't know if you don't take the time to document. So one of our the Facebook watcher says they're trying to be a lazy Generation X. I'm right here with that, right here with that. So let's chat about real quick, where can people find you? I know that you have a couple things going on this summer where either you'll walk people through the documentation process, or you are there. You can be the documentation process as well.
Oh Lord, what am I not doing? So first of all, you can guys can find me pretty much everywhere under the Lazy Millennial, my website, thelazymillennial.net, and I just released. It's on a soft launch right now, so things may be acting up. But I released Journey to Laziness, and that's my chapter under the Lazy Millennial, where I'll be doing events, workshops. All the digital products will be found there, and then also to the membership community, where we'll just be focusing on not strictly, but like documentation and building your dream life, your lazy life, because that's
Awesome.
necessary. And that's journeytolaziness.com. And I'm just now getting the pages up for it. By fall, everything will be set. But like you can come in the early stages if you want to. You're welcome. But That's what I'm working on this summer. And
Awesome,
getting my
awesome,
team
awesome.
in order. Yeah.
Awesome. And as I mentioned, next week it kicks off our Freedom is the New Flex virtual summit. It is on June 15th and June 21st. If you are in the VIP, Adriana is going to be one of my guest speakers. We're chatting today about building freedom in your business with systems, but she's going to be chatting next week and going into a deeper dive in how systems and process and documentation can be fun, can be productive, but more importantly, how it drives your business to be more free and more flexible so that you can do the stuff that you want and be able to focus on bringing more clients in. So super excited to have you here. I'm going to make sure also that we put in the links for the virtual summit, the VIP option, y'all. I just had to
Listen.
chat with my a couple of my sponsors, and they are ready. The VIP sponsors are like pumped, ready, and they have brought out literally rolling out the red carpet for my guests. So freedomIsAFlex.com. Go grab your ticket. It's June 15th for the virtual summit piece, and then June 21st, that's when the party goes down. That is the VIP summer soiree. Adriana will be there, but we also have an amazing community of powerhouses that will be there to help you, one, collaborate, but also really be intentional about creating more freedom, more flexibility in your business so we can get this thing popping, but doing it with fun, doing it in style, but being more free while we're doing it. So thank you so much, Adriana, for joining me today, and look forward to seeing all of you guys that are watching, as well as you, Adriana, next week at the summit.
I'll be there. See y'all later.
All right, see you later.